3 months ago, Jimmy Butler packed his bags, wanted to get out of Minnesota. Finally, he's gone. The Minnesota Timberwolves trade Jimmy Butler and Justin Patton to the Philadelphia 76ers for Dario Saric, Robert Covington, Jared Bayless, and a 2022 second-round draft pick. Now, Brendan, David, I know you both have varying opinions on this trade. David, I'm going to kick it off with you. Why to Jimmy Butler to Philadelphia? Why was that a good move?
Well, Jimmy Butler is exactly the closer and veteran that the Sixers needed. He can lead this team, and they did not give up much to get him. The Rockets offered 4 first-round picks, and the Sixers only got rid of 2 players in exchange for him. So Jimmy is one of the top two-way players in the NBA, which is hard to come by. He does everything that Robert Covington did, except better, and he is able to get his own shot, which is really important at the end of games. That worked against us in the Boston series in the playoffs. And then Dario Saric, he's had a poor start to the season, so I don't think the Sixers gave up too much to get Jimmy Butler. Now, I think the Sixers have a great chance to win now because Fultz and Simmons are both still on their rookie contracts, while Fultz is still only 20 years old. So the Sixers still have $42 million in cap space next year, so they can go separate ways with Jimmy Butler, or they can re-sign him. They have plenty of options. So I think Elton Brand, in his first few months of being the GM for the Sixers, has pulled an absolute power move.
Definitely. Brendan, ball's in your court.
Thank you, Hunter. David, let me explain something to you. So when Jimmy Butler got traded to the 76ers earlier this week, his bird rights from the Bulls that went to the Timberwolves that are now with the 76ers went with him. Do you know what that means? At the end of the season, when Jimmy Butler is 30 years old, he'll be eligible for a 5-year, $190 million Supermax deal. No other team can offer him more than 5 years and $140 million. So Jimmy Butler, at 30 years old, he's either going to A, take that money, get to the bag, which he probably will. He's 30 years old. This is going to probably be the last big contract of his career, or he's going to walk away. So you either rented him for 70 games or so, or use most of your cap space for next summer for him. And that's not good, especially in a free agency class where you're going to see guys like Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, and plenty of other talent surface. Also, aside from just being 30 years old, and he's played in 7 seasons, 5 out of those 7 seasons, he hasn't played more than 70 games. Last year, he only played 59. He can't stay healthy. He's 30 years old. It's going to be a pretty big cap hit if you sign him for that 5 years, $190 million, when he's 32 or 33 years old and he's missing games every other night and can't play back-to-backs because, let's face it, he's injury-prone. Also, you lost 2 shooters. It's a 3-point league now. You can't win without shooters. You have J.J. Redick, but let's look at your starting 5. Markelle Fultz. I don't know what happened to his jump shot. It's gone. He left it at Washington with him. It didn't come with him at the draft. Markelle Fultz can't shoot. Ben Simmons can't shoot. We all know that. Embiid, he has the ability to hit the 3, but you don't want him running around the perimeter. You want him down low because his post-up game, second to none. So really, you just have J.J. Redick. Now what I think the Sixers should do is make a move for Kyle Korver. Frankly, the Cleveland Cavs suck. They're looking to move him. You pair Kyle Korver with J.J. Redick and someone like Ben Simmons who can spread the ball around, now that's a good move. But for now, you lost 2 starters, you lost some shooting, you get an aging Jimmy Butler. I wasn't a fan of the move.
All right, you both brought up really good points. Brendan, I do agree. You can't build Rome in one day, basically. I think there's more moves that Philadelphia is going to make. But I'm going to have to side with David here, put on my Judge Freiler robe, so to speak, here. I got to say, I think Sixers needed to make a move for Jimmy Butler, a power move, because they're lagging behind Milwaukee now, who's really good. Toronto with Kawhi Leonard looks really scary, maybe the best team in the East.
They don't have depth anymore, though. They can only go 6 deep.
There's the Boston Celtics, even the Pacers. I think, yes, they don't have depth, but there's smaller moves I think the Sixers can pull off, like a Kyle Korver or whoever. And
They
I
haven't
think
made those moves yet. They only go 6 deep right now.
It's a wait and see. Jimmy Butler has not played a game yet, but I'm going to have to side with David here because 3 All-Stars, 3 caliber two-way players.
I didn't even get to the chemistry issues.
I mean, you got to go with
I didn't even get with that yet.
You got to go with Jimmy Butler here, a guy who's going to lead and put this team over the top potentially. That's going to wrap it up here. We'll wait and see if Jimmy Butler does make a positive effect on the Philadelphia 76ers.